Alrighty guys, welcome back to Dirt and Pavement. Kind of a different intro here. Today I'll be working on the C153 engine out of my Farmall 504. We're just going to start taking her apart right away here. No intro needed. And this video will be all about taking apart the C153. At least the top end. I don't know if I'll get to the bottom end by the end of the video. Come on, buddy. Oh yeah, that's how you know it's been on there a while. First time this valve cover's been off of my ownership. Probably in desperate need of lots of maintenance. Woo, da me. Man, this wide front is just getting in the way of my workspace. Come on, buddy. Okay, now you can work. Give him the angle. There. Okay. Oh, wow. Pain is temporary. And so is a good back. Alright. Swats with us. Woo! Well, looking back at the footage of that, definitely lifted half of that with my back, but that's fine. I used to work with a guy that said he was convinced that his back was stronger than his legs because when he was laying concrete, he lifted more with his back. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I try to practice better back lifting etiquette when I can. But we're not all goody two-shoes here. That's a lot better. Next up here, let's remove this water pump. And in order to get to this bolt right here, you gotta get this little neck out of the way. There we go. I must say, it's really interesting. Ever since I started working on tractors, using plumbing fittings on the exhaust, on the intake, on cooling, I just never seen anything like that. I just think it's kind of funny. Alrighty, oh, that's just a little guy. I guess I should be more correct here and say technically we're not removing the water pump, well, just the water pump. We're removing the coolant filler neck and the water pump. Little crusty. Yeah, there, buddy. Doesn't help that we got this coolant hose in the way, too. Gonna replace this hose anyway, so I don't know why I bother saving it. Maybe for future documentation. There we go. That there is a coolant pump. Now we can get this guy off. Before we take that neck off, though, I'd like to drive home that this pump, honestly, seems pretty good. Maybe a little bit of bearing growl, but maybe that's just because she's dry. Looking at it, this is an international pump. Suppose I don't know if there is any aftermarket flavors of these, but I could just tell because it literally says IH on it. But yeah, seems like a pretty good pump. Tractor never really had overheating issues, which is funny because the whole time I had it, the coolant gauge actually never worked, but never boiled coolant over. Heck, I never even leaked it, so I'd say this guy's good. It'll just need a clean up and we could throw her back on in with the new hose, of course. Okay, you know what? One side up, there we go. There we go. Just be gentle with her. Looking down there, no surprises. I have found 10mm sockets in Hondas before on the other sides of these, believe it or not. But if you're gonna find a socket, might as well be a 10mm. All right, buddy. That was easy. Next up, removing the valve train. Next up, let's pop the cylinder head off. And we'll start with the middle. Oof, that's pretty loose. And without further ado, let's pull this cylinder head. All right, looking down in here, looks like, I believe that's 20 over. So this has been opened up before. Take this head gasket off. So interesting. I mean, I would expect a tractor this old to have been opened up before. If we're looking at the walls here, yeah, I do not really see any cross hatching whatsoever. She is very polished. Interesting. So yeah, I'll have to give a good inspection on this and get back to this block later. But besides that, I mean, I don't see any major issues. Not that I would. This piston right here was the one with lower compression. I mean, I don't see any chips in it or anything, but maybe they'll show us her secrets later on down the road. All right, cylinder head on the table here. And before I flip it over, I want to vacuum up some of this loose debris so it doesn't find its way in the head. Now for the moment I've been waiting for, I'm trying to remember. Okay, so this is cylinder 4 right here. This was the lower compression guy. This is the one we were getting 103 PSI on, which really isn't a big compression dip compared to the other ones that were 115, 116, but maybe we got a valve there that might have a little bit of chippage or something. So I have a gander underneath the head here. All the valves kind of have the same color, so it's telling me the same thing's going on down there. This one's a little bit more white than the others. I can't remember what that tells me, if that's coolant burning or if it's running leaner or something, but all these other valves, they look fine. This one looks a little bit more sooted up, like maybe it's got some oil burning issues, and if that's got some oil burning issues, then that's telling me that that cylinder is, maybe the rings are going bad and there's getting some blow by there. Maybe that's why we had lower compression on that cylinder. But besides that, no real significant issues. And in fact, I don't ever remember adding oil to this tractor, let alone checking it. I did here and there, but it's just been a solid tractor. Really, it leaked a little bit of oil, but not a lot. So I don't know what to tell you. I mean, we're tearing apart an engine that honestly probably doesn't need to be torn apart, but I'm still glad we are, nevertheless, because she's getting tired, and if there's a time to do it, now's the time. And just so you guys can get your eyes on in here, the camera actually really illuminates how much that looks. In real life, it looks a lot darker. But yeah, cylinders 1 to 4 here. 1's looking good, 2 is good, 3 is good, and 4 is good. We won't know for sure though until I pop those valves off and inspect those edges and eventually lap them. And something really sweet I got with this workbench. This bench has just been providing so many things. But one of the things I got was, oh, there it is. It's a valve lapper. Before I just put some paper towels around the actual stem of the valve and just run it in a drill and just lap it that way. But now that I have a lapper here, I can actually do it the right way. And it also came with some lapping compound. I think I actually threw it in the workbench, as well as a bunch of other cool, like random seals, like Ford gasket maker. I've never seen anything like that before. But yeah, so that workbench provided. It even provided with a vacuum tube book on all RCA vacuum tubes. And, you know, I like to tinker with old radios every now and then, so I might mess with that sometime, but I digress. Let's leave this alone. Oh, wait. It provides, because we're going to need this. I love buying junk. Even a coolant pressure tester, like, isn't that sweet? And there we have it, guys. I'm just going to make this a shorter video. I'm trying to break this up into smaller videos because editing long videos is a real big pain because I do everything on my phone. I have a Galaxy S22 and editing every single video, this is like my 203rd channel video on this channel, I've edited with that phone and it gets to be a pain. So I'm going to keep it a smaller video and that way I can push more content too. The next video, I'm either going to be tearing into the tractor more, the bottom end on this engine yet. I'm not sure which yet. Again, this engine really doesn't need to be torn into, but we might as well while we're here, and I enjoy tearing in engines. I'm going to add this to my head gasket collection. Every time I pull a cylinder head, I collect a head gasket. I probably have at least 30 of these now, give or take 5. But yeah, so far that's the Farmall 504. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like. Please comment in the comments down below, and please press subscribe for more 504 content, as well as boosted Honda content, because we'll be getting that here soon too, as well as racing and trucks and all that other stuff. Drop in the comments below what you guys think about just the whole 504 in general. I mean, do you guys have 504s? If you do, tell me everything about them, because I mean, I'm not saying I don't know. Is that grease right there? I never knew. Oh, that's a bolt. Sorry, squirrel. But yeah, you don't really see a lot of these 504s, and they're kind of a collector's tractor. You don't really get to see a lot of them, but I love this tractor. It's all I need for my operation. I just have a small hay operation, and even if I pick up another 10 or 20 acres, I don't see the need for a bigger tractor. Eventually, I will need a second tractor, because it'd just be nice to have a backup, but honestly, if I put a wide front on my H, I'll be more than happy with that, but I'll probably expect something like a 656 or something of that size and nature in the future. Preferably in diesel, but man, I love how those inline gassers sound. They're just great. Even the 460s, I don't know what it is about them, but they sound mint. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching the channel. I really appreciate it. Things are slowing down more that it's winter, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to stop pushing content. I'm not a slave to YouTube. I push these videos because I like to, and also it does help fund the build. It's just slow. It's the doldrums of winter, but hey, that's truck driving. Thank you guys for watching, and you guys have a great rest of your day.